You already know this is Punch Wrong Boxing, aka Mr. Moo. Won't shine himself, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put the call and I'll get right back to you. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things is happening in the combat world during the self-quarantine pandemic. You got Mike Tyson trying to get back inside the ring, looking great in those pads. You got Holyfield also trying to come back. You got James Toney putting his name on the hat. He's trying to come back. Shannon Briggs. You got also Floyd Mayweather wanting to become a trainer. Damn, wow. I mean, I don't know if people is getting crazy or people is just finding that itch back. You know, you got UFC and boxers going at it, throwing shots at one another. And I think people, especially boxers that's trying to clout fighting UFC fighters and vice versa, I think, and the names like Ryan Garcia, he's going back and forth in the Twitter world with UFC fighters, Henry and such and such. Look. I understand that these fighters got a bunch of egos. We know that. That's what makes them great. You got to have that self-belief, especially when you're fighting. Especially when you fight on everything that you want to do in life. You know, I'm not going to say just fighters, but you got to have that self-confidence, but especially in the combat world when you actually going out there and you risking your life. Now, I do believe that the clout chasing amongst the boxers and the UFC fighters needs to stop. I mean, at least establish a legacy. At least establish a legacy, some legendary status, so then we can understand. Like, for example, I'm cool with when Silva and Roy Jones Jr. was going back and forth and they was willing to put up an event. I'm cool with that. I remember when Floyd Mayweather did this with Conor McGregor, and a lot of people was talking ish about it. It was downplaying it. Even moi was saying, what the hell is going on? No. I don't want to see that garbage of an event. Even I said that, right? So, I'm like, come on, guys. Like, make your own mark in your own sport. Make your own mark. If you're a UFC fighter, make your own mark in the UFC. If you're a boxer, Ryan Garcia and co, make your own mark in boxing. Come on. Like, stop clowning one another, man. Or maybe is this a promotional use for? Yeah, y'all trying to promote each other? Y'all trying to promote, because y'all trying to promote UFC and boxing at the same time? Let me know what's really going on. I mean, it's two different type of you know, training, two different type of, I mean, it's still fighting, but boxer and MMA, mixed martial arts, it's just two different type of art. You know, it's two different type of art, two different type of approach to it. And why does y'all want to clout chase each other? Like, I'm gonna say it like this. I always hear boxers and they want to talk to the UFC fighters and they just want to talk about it like, yo, UFC fighters, come inside my world and see what you could do. I mean, I've seen Holmes, when she did what she had to do, she came from the boxing world, but she came really from the Thai world into the boxing world and then back to the mixed martial arts to fight Ronda Rousey, and she did a hell of a job. And you know what? I'm not even going to contradict myself in the UFC going back and forth, because actually the women usually doing more than men. You got Amanda Serrano, she's doing the MMA and she's doing the boxing. You got Heather Hardy, she's doing the MMA, she's doing the boxing. You got Holmes as well. So I think when it comes to that, I think the women does it because they underpaid in boxing. So even the men that tries to be like, oh, but you got to come to our world in boxing because we make the money. But for the women, they got to go to the UFC and make that money. It's kind of strange, right? It's kind of strange. I mean, there is some difference when it comes to men and women in combat sports, right? And I think we got to give our props to the women that go out there, because they also warriors as well. I mean, I don't believe they're getting the credit what they deserve. Like, think about it. Amanda Serrano, she was going to fight a MMA bout, and then she had to prepare 2 weeks later or 1 week notice to fight a boxing bout on the zone. Think about that. I mean, that's why I say she's the #1 fighter in the world. In my opinion, to able to do that and short notice when she's already a 7th division world titleist. Now I understand that, but I think that women like Amanda Serrano, she respects both art, and I just think that when we see the men boxers and UFC fighters, and they go at one another about, oh, UFC likes to say, oh, boxers, you want to get into a real fight, trying to diminish boxing and saying that it's not as dangerous as boxing. You hear Conor McGregor, oh, you even took an elbow to the nose or shin or whatever. Now look, it's different arts. I think that UFC fighters and boxers should stop devaluing and discrediting each other's sports. I think it just does a disservice to the combat sports. The more you respect it, the more people on the outside respect what you men and women do in that ring or in that octagon. It's time for boxers to actually respect the UFC fighters, and it's time for UFC fighters to respect the boxers. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all both in the combat sport. I think y'all doing a disservice to each other's brand. You don't have to, talking shit doesn't have to mean this is the way we got to promote stuff. Always talking shit, respectfully, or take a page out of Muhammad Ali. Take a page out of the way he trash talk. You don't need to question your manhood. He don't need to curse at you. He don't need to hit you with slurs that, you know, test your manhood or things of that nature. So I just think that it's time for boxers and UFC to actually respect one another. If you want to get inside the ring or the octagon, say it, do it, but respect one another's art, because then you're gonna get those type of hecklers that don't know shit about boxing, don't know shit about the UFC or MMA, put it that way. Come on, and then y'all fighters gonna be screaming, oh, you guys don't know nothing about no boxing, you guys don't know nothing about no fighting, you don't know nothing about the sport, you don't know what it takes, because we're going by what y'all say to one another. You understand what I'm trying to say? This is Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Bullshot himself. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, get my updated videos. Let's have this chat. Matter of fact, we're gonna go live. Let's have this chat, ladies and gentlemen. Let's UFC, MMA, boxing. Let's have this chat. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. You already know I love each and every one of y'all. God bless. And on to the next.